The drivers, characters, and events in TOECAR are fictional. Nobody was harmed in the filming of this production. Now sit back and enjoy the race.
Welcome to the CRI Super Speedway for round number 9 of the Goodies Trash Series, where today, it's cut line day. Today we will set our playoff field. Obviously, a good amount of drivers in this race already in the playoffs via points position or via winning a race, as you see Neil Anderthal, our most recent addition to that list of drivers. But nonetheless, going to be a very stressful day for a lot of people, both to ensure they make the playoffs and for some others, just to ensure they have a shot of even coming back for Season 3. I'm Kyle, I'm here with Mike, I'm here with Tristan. Guys, what kind of racing is this going to be today?
It's going to be a lot better than we saw here at CRI last season. There was a lot of bumps, especially in turn 6. Nobody knew how to handle it. As you see him going through right here, nice and smooth now. Armando did a great job revamping this track. He repaved turn 6, even color matched the asphalt, just like a paint shop would. So you'd never be the wiser, but we're going to see a lot better racing today.
Yeah, that was my biggest fear coming into today's race, is exactly what you just mentioned, Mike. Just horrible racing, I guess you could say, last season. I don't think we could even make it through a lap, but it looks like this season it's going to be a lot more promising. We should be in for a good one today.
Well, last week, we were not without incident at Talladega, and we had many a car wreck, especially in that one massive wreck towards the end of the race that involved a lot of people in the field. After that, we were left with a lot of injuries. And Mike, can we get an update on that?
Well, I really thought they were going to keep it clean there at the end, but the lid on that pot eventually bubbled off. Go back a little bit earlier in the race, you heard on the onboard Fearless Fred Bush some screams coming from the cockpit. Turns out Fred had a cup of coffee in his cup holder, and when he backed it into the wall like that, it just flew straight in his face. I don't know if you ever had that happen to you, but that's a big youch. But good old Dr. Basil, he just prescribed him the good old put your head in ice water routine. And this next diagnosis actually came from Severton himself. He diagnosed himself with a warm front. Which word would you put emphasis on, warm or front? Warm front or warm front? Either way, his chest is searing. That might be his version of Massive Chris, not sure. Like I said, Dr. Basil, probably not a real doctor, haven't really confirmed that yet. But that's a job for the lawyers. Bill Wasabi, he's full, and this actually didn't come from the race. He got a little banged up in the race. It actually came later in the week after the race. Bill entered in a hot dog eating contest and overdid it. Too much. His body's now 75% glizzy, so he's going to have to try to keep that down in the car today. But luckily we smoothed out a lot of the bumps, like I said earlier, so that should help. Preston DeWall got pressed in his belts after that big hit by Claire coming off of turn 4 there. Luckily it wasn't nearly as bad as the crash he had back in Daytona practice, but luckily the belts did their job. Kept him inside the race car, unlike Claire and Chris, rest in peace. And Claire pressure after demanding to stay in the race car even after her grandson Aaron was allowed into the racetrack. She fought all the way to the end. She got caught up in that big crash off of turn 4, backed it in really hard into the concrete, and got diagnosed with chocolate chipped hip. Grandma usually makes some really good cookies, but these are a little bit crumbly. But when she was helped out of the car last week, she had a smile on her face, and it's not going to even stop her today. She's still going to be starting this race here today. You cannot keep the pressures down. All of a sudden, that crash clink bottles got hit in the rear so hard the car started helicoptering. It's been a while since we had one of those, and got diagnosed with rotated brain syndrome. You know, the head moves, the brain doesn't. It just starts getting wound up in there. And Klink's still not sure if he has it wound all the way back around or not, or if he's actually 2 turns in and doesn't realize it. And Asiago, after doing the second ever blowover in TOECAR, somehow, and then getting flipped over at least 2 more times in the same crash, got diagnosed with cheese pull. I've seen some good cheese pulls in my day, and if that's happening to your body, that's not good. But he's had a full week to rest up, and he wants to have one last opportunity to make these playoffs and hopefully not get eliminated from the league altogether this season. So he's going to tough it out today. And someone who's not going to be able to tough it out the full race, Degadub. Once again, in that monstrous one off of turn 4, he got hit in every single side of the car possible. Into the wall, he got hit on the left side, in the front, in the back, in the roof. Getting impacted from every direction like that, it starts to mess with time and space itself. And half of his thoughts are now in another dimension, so he's not going to be able to have the mental capacity to do the full race. So, as promised, Shave Burns gets the first opportunity to get into a race car as he can, and he's going to be getting into the 67 here on the first pit stop. Shave needs to prove himself, because let's be honest, he killed himself at Gauntlet. I don't know why he did that, but you know what? He has a second opportunity to live, so he needs to make the most of it. But like I said, everybody going to at least be attempting to start this race today.
Well, glad to see that Claire is doing mostly okay. Thankfully, we thought she might be in much worse condition after that wreck. Not to say that chocolate chip hip, pardon me, easy for me to say, is not a bad injury, of course, but it could be much worse. We saw Degadub. He's going to be getting out of that car today. Glad we don't have anybody completely out of the car completely, because this is, as I said, our last chance to get people into the playoffs. Let's revisit what that playoff picture looks like. First and foremost, our people that have won a race already. Kobe Keith, let me get in you. The Plot 55 car. Oh, as we see, because we can cut back to that. Already wrecking in practice. That's not a good start. We do have Elliott Sadness in the car this week, starting off very bad. He's going to be scheduled for some testing regardless of the outcome based on that. Anyway, back to our playoff picture. Kobe Keith, let me get into the Plot 55 car. Wyatt Wilkinson, Weed Trimma, Andrew, Massive Chris, and Neil Anderthal all in the playoffs via a win. They don't have to do a goddamn thing but survive today. Then we have our 4 people who are going to be in on points. Right now, as it stands, that's Scubs, Phil Amignon, Ali Alakainen, and Steel Park. The 3 people you see on your graphic that are directly outside, that are really close, cease and desist in the 51 car, Giuseppe Gabaguli and Cam Arrow, all within 10 points. However, they're not the only ones who can point their way in today. Jackie said is -10. Todd the Stain Trows is -11. Joplin Moore, -13. I'm not going to go over the exact points, but Dale Bernhardt, Ron Roundback, Fearless Fred Bush, Victor E. Lane, Clink Bottles, Sir Bluis Hamstring, Preston DeWall, and Colonel Caleb Rose all can make it via points. That road especially gets easier if one of the 4 people in on points right now end up winning, because then the cut line moves down a little closer to them. Anybody who is not on that graphic, or I have not just mentioned, can still make the playoffs, but it'll have to be via a win. Everybody in this field, no matter where they are in the points, can in fact join our playoff grid if things go perfect. But not only that, there's also one final playoff spot potentially on the line if someone could do the unthinkable. If somebody gets off turn 2 and crashes in just the right way to where they go through the uprights of that field goal, either of the field goals, they will in fact join our playoff grid. The odds are astronomically low, but as we've seen many a time in TOECAR, anything can happen. And it would not shock me one bit if somebody goes flying right between those, scores 3 points and a playoff position.
It's a full moon tonight.
Well, before we can get underway today, let's go through today's NASCAR Grape Tomatoes starting grid. On your poll, LW Wrong, currently in the middle of a lawsuit after slaughtering his crew chief. Got Cole Powers up on the box once again today. Can they find victory lane? You can't ask for a better start. Up next, Harvey Quinn in the 00 car. This is a car that's really been anonymous all season. We've seen him maybe in the front like once or twice, but really just kind of folding into the pack, hiding in the back of the field. Hopefully going to have a good result today for that team, because as we see, they need funding badly. Then, let me get in the 96 car. Already in the playoffs, just here for vibes, exclusively. But starting in third, that's a pretty good way to start. Speaking of third, the 3 car in fourth, Dale Bernhardt, one of our people that can potentially make the playoffs today. Gonna need a good points day to make that happen. Could do it from there. Then, David Gutterball, one of the most cursed drivers in TOECAR history, has never found any sort of good luck really in any race he's been in. Then again, though, I'm not sure I've seen him start top 5 very often. Could be up for a different pace today. Then, the 92 car, Bill Wasabi, after last week, terrible hot dog eating incident. Thankfully, though, going to be all cleared to go today, albeit not feeling the best. Then, somebody else who's also still in the playoffs, Wyatt Wilkinson in that 9 Pepsi machine with CJ Simpson alongside him. He was getting flashbacks watching the Blue Log last week. Lastly, Joplin Moore in the 01 car and Ali Alakainen in the 84. 2 other people who are very much in our playoff contention picture. Going to be starting top 10 today. Can't ask for much better than that.
David Krappenschit's not having a great season, but he has one more opportunity to do it. Hopefully he doesn't have to resort to a field goal. And Andrew's starting his outside. Already locked in, but he definitely wants to get another win in the column today to eliminate one more driver to have to beat next week. Starting behind them, we got Lawful Allen in the 65 car with Hud Strickland to his outside. A couple of guys, once again, just desperately trying to make their way in, and it's getting down to it. It's crunch time. Behind them, we got Claire Pressure racing with her chocolate-chipped hip. She will be getting out of the car this week. Aaron will not let his grandmother do the whole race this week. He was allowed into the track. And Ron Roundback, Kyle's car, starting his outside. Hopefully, Kyle can figure out what they're doing wrong.
We won't.
Then Preston DeWall got diagnosed with Preston's belts after that wreck last week. Very lucky to make it through without further injury. And Bill Landline's involved in that crash as well. Also a car that didn't get nearly as much as he could have in that. Very lucky for them. Then Dadgum, starting again back here in the, I don't know what position he's in. The next to him, we got Weed Trimma. No tornadoes here so far, but he wants to spin one up.
Kicking things off in row 11 is going to be 2 drivers that need to win the race in order to lock themselves into the playoffs or get a field goal, whatever. Sport Tender in the 0 car and Asiago to his outside. Starting 23rd is going to be Victor E. Lane in the 12 car, and then to his outside is going to be Daggett Dub, who will be starting the race today. However, he will be relieved. And in case you didn't didn't know, on Halloween we had a bit of a race. A bunch of dead guys were racing. I guess the winner of the race, ended up resurrecting or something. I don't know. Anyway, Shea Burns is gonna relieve the 67 today. So we will be seeing a dead guy. Well, not so dead anymore. Anyways, welcome back, Shea Burns. Starting 25th is going to be the 18 of Filet Mignon, and then to his outside is Reese Ware in the 86 car. Todd the Stained Trousers in the 19 car. He is 11 points outside of the playoffs. Can he get it done today? I don't know. Hopefully. Maybe not. I don't know. That's your choice. And then to his outside is the menace herself, Jackie Sett. Starting 29th is going to be the 51 of Cease and Desist, who's only 4 points below the cut line. So he's right on the bubble. If he wants any shot at the playoffs, he needs to get up there and get up there quick. And then to his outside is Elliott Sadness in the Plot 55 car.
Then to our final 12 starters, as the saying goes, in the thigh of the storm. Going to start with Sir Bluis Hamstring in the 44 car, somebody else who's once again in our playoff picture, at least slightly. And alongside him, Kobe Keith in the 90 car, safely in the playoffs, just trying to survive today. Then, Steel Park in the 34, with last week's winner, Neil Landerthal in the 8 car. Gonna have an uphill battle for these two gentlemen today. Then, someone who's directly outside the cut line, Cam Arrow, coming into this race 9 points below it. Gonna have a really, really tough way to get back to the front, as we saw from last season's race. They get 3 and 4 wide very quickly, and this track is awfully narrow. And alongside him, got Scubs in the 02 car. He is 32 points above our cut line. He just needs an okay finish today, but this is not the way he wanted to start things. Then, Massive Chris won at Auto Club and has kind of just been chilling ever since. Wants somebody else who pretty much just needs to finish this race, at least survive the race, and make sure he's in the playoffs next week. And then next to him, Giuseppe Gabaguli, coming into this race 6 points below the cut line. He doesn't need to do too much to get his way in there, but with how many people are within points striking distance, you really want to get a win. The next row, the 59 car, the Colonel, Caleb Burrows in that 59 KFC machine. He is once again one of our people hoping to make the playoffs. He's the last one in on points in regards to the people that can actually mathematically make it, so he's going to have a very, very tough battle ahead of him. And then we have Clink Bottles in the 45 car, also within that striking distance zone. Our final row, Fearless Fred, who we talked about before, one of the people towards the back of that potential playoff grid. He's probably just going to have to bank on a win, especially starting this far back. It's going to be very hard for him to make up enough points, even though with all the crashes we're liable to see today. And then the person starting dead last on the field, the 27 car, Severe Thunderstorm Varnon. There is a story on this team this weekend. So this car actually qualified on pole. However, Shave Burns, as he was parachuting back into the track after respawning in the Bulag, landed directly on top of this 27 car, had irreversible damage to the windshield, the engine, and the tailpipes, and they had to completely fix that car due to unapproved adjustments. He's going to be starting P last today. This 27 team, it's going to deal with a lot of adversity. They're going to have to find a way to get back to the front if they want any chance of being in our postseason. Well, before we find out who the people in the postseason are, we have to get underway. So let's give the call to Jason Payson with the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
Look at that Tyrese Halifax fan. They're showing up to every race this season.
Guys, I got something to say.
Go ahead.
It's TOECAR time.
Who told you?
Jason.
It fits my agenda. And they're passing Jason.
Yeah, they don't respect Jason here today.
That's all right. Anyways, TOECAR.
I don't respect Jason any day. Who gets scared for giving the gentleman start your engines command? Come on.
Where's
the field?
What is... Yeah, what the hell?
Oh,
Good
come on.
race. I think somebody didn't get going. I'm not sure what happened.
But we're going green.
Oh,
Here we go.
no. Lawful Allen. He's the first person that can't make it via points. Had to win today. That might be out of the question now. Look at this run the inside lane's going to have.
Anyways, another day, another dollar. Boogie Boggy. The turbine. Look at Claire.
Oh, and the 51.
What is going on?
50's blowing up.
No, he's not. Oh, is he?
Yeah.
He is glowing up. I thought he was just slow because of the momentum they had. LW wrong. They must have put sugar in the gas tank on that 50 car. He's having a huge problem.
Oh,
my.
I'm terrified for Cole Powers.
Guys, I'm actually hearing TOECAR insider Rob Pockets is saying on the radio for that 50 team, there's evidently razor blades stuck into all the tires on that car. They don't know what happened with it. We're also hearing that every single battery that was either in the 65 car or in their pit box was stolen. Therefore, he couldn't get going. That's what caused all the mayhem out there. We have to get to the bottom of this. Somebody's sabotaging all these cars.
That's insane. I don't know what we just saw on that first lap. On that pace lap, mind you. And clear pressure, of all things, is leading this race. Here comes Dadgum to the inside.
Dadgum with a big move on the bottom. That 74 has had the worst luck you could possibly have this season. But one win can change it all. And speaking of terrible luck, is that Sportender?
It is.
Sportender in the middle of 3 wide battling for second right now.
Oh. They get
Now remember, Sportender is another one of those drivers. He needs to win this race in order to make the playoffs. But right behind him is Todd the Stain Trousters, and he's barely on the outside looking in. You know he's going to try to get every point he can today.
Forget making the playoffs, Tristan. Sportender might need a win just to be alive next season. Right now, that team is on pace for the worst ever TOECAR season. This is race number 9. He might leave today with less points than anybody scored in 8 weeks last season.
Oh, I hear trouble.
The completion of lap 2. I heard some calamity.
yeah.
Oh, that is a collection.
Electric Bill, Joplin Moore, one of our cut line people. Severe thunderstorm Varnum, we talked about it. Our pole sitter before he was our pole sitter before he was viciously landed on by Shave Burns respawning in. Oh,
They're
my
still gonna be
goodness.
racing it back here. Claire desperately trying to get back to the line first. That way Aaron can have a good starting spot when he gets in the car.
One thing that we don't talk about much in TOECAR, leading a lap does earn you a point, and leading the most earns you another point. With how close the cut line is, you got to think they're going to be battling hard for the lead all day.
You don't think that Claire might swat them with a newspaper and say, "Don't you dare take me out of this car again," do you?
I don't think she's on nearly enough painkillers to let that happen today.
Not only that, if Aaron wins the car, she gets in the playoffs for free.
Oh, dadgum got it. That's not going to be good for Aaron, but you know what? Still, second place, not too bad. I don't know if Aaron's going to be jumping into the car because poor Claire's going to need more time to get out than that. But
And something I want to point out, guys, is we have a caution.
All right, let's take another look at things here. Going through turns 5 and 6. Don't forget, this is a triangle, technically, every turn being 2 corners. We're going to see they're all 3 and 4 wide coming off turn 6. Oh, and David Gutterball got turned. Shocker there. Electric Bill gets turned up the hill. Look at Giuseppe Gabaguli. Oh, I thought he was going to get by. And then things just got worse. Crap and shits got spun in the back. Saverton Thunderstorm Varnon just absolutely had the worst start to a weekend you could have. From pole sitting to starting in dead last to getting wrecked on lap 1. Talk about highs and lows. And oh my gosh, Joplin Moore, with no regard for human life, just goes flying in there.
on board with the Joplin radar here. They're 4 wide in front of him. He's 4 wide also probably. Just gets into our car. That's not good. I want to know what happens to him after that. Oh, man, they just keep... Oh, look at Scubs with the miss.
Woo!
Then Joplin gets it gathered up, but Bill's still in the way. Not anymore, though.
Let's take another look at what happened on the grid here, too. You see the 65
Just
puts
stalled
it in gear. Yeah, and they were saying on the radio something got into the gas tank and refused to let the car roll there. And then on the radio, the 65's team radio, they said, and I quote, "I'm gonna send that motherfucker back. I'm gonna get him." I don't know who he's referring to, but clearly they think this was sabotage on the 65 team's part. As we saw, the 50 car also dealing with sabotage there. So this is the green. The field looks very goofy because of all the stuff that went on with the 65 car. Let's not really focus on that, though, because I got confused by that myself even in the moment there. You heard my call. I thought the 50 was just slower because these guys have a huge run on the bottom, which, to be fair, they do. But this 50 car, he's going to get down here to turns 1 and 2 and realize all my tires are flat. And look at that. He's just trying to survive. LW wrong. Let's not forget, on trial for, a bad strategy at South Boston, slaughtering his crew chief. Now his car gets sabotaged before the race even really gets underway. The poor soul that did that's going to have another thing coming. I'll tell you that much. Welcome back to CRI Super Speedway, where we do have some updates actually on both the people who were sabotaged before the green. Both of them are back out on track. As we said before, the 50 car had 4 slashed tires, some with razor blades sticking out of them. Unsure of where that came from exactly, but they do know that they were in fact wrong on that 50 team. Cole Powers actually went on the radio and said, "Hey, I might be in jail with you, buddy," after what he's going to do to whoever did that to him. And then we see to his inside, the 65 car, LW wrong. They were, Lawful Allen in the 65 car. They were actually able to get a spare battery from a nearby pit box to get in that car. I said before, I thought it might have been something in the engine. So did they on the radio. But then when they got to pit road, they realized there wasn't a single battery in there. Went to get a backup, couldn't find one. Nonetheless, able to lend one today from another team, and they're back out on track, albeit multiple laps down.
Sure, they didn't steal it.
I don't know. All I know is that 65 is back out on track, but he's going to need to get 2 laps back to have any shot at making the playoffs. And we're back green. Dadgum leads us down to turn 1. Claire Pressure still on the outside. That 75 car did not pit on this caution. However, if you look back in the field, the 67 car, they did in fact pit. So we got Dagadub out of that car, and it is in fact Shave Burns driving that car for the rest of the way.
Now, why the hell is Claire still in that car if she's hurt? I don't understand this lady.
Very irresponsible old lady, but you know what? When you start getting to that age, you stop giving a shit, because you know what? What's it going to buy, an extra 2 years anyway?
Hey, you know, I'm all for it, honestly. I love seeing Claire in that car, and I wish we could see more of her.
Maybe she just had a lot of fun watching the Bulldog and wants to take part in next year's.
Well, like that.
Man,
anyways,
somebody's going to be in next year's if they keep this up. They are 4 wide here through turns 5 and 6. They couldn't even go 3 wide through here last season, guys. This will not be good.
Nope.
Oh, clear on the wall.
Oh,
they're all
look
in
out.
the wall. Big crash.
Everybody in the field. Oh, my gosh.
God.
Ron's in it. Every car. Every man on every crew is going to be fixing damage on this caution. Even the cars are lapped down.
Oh, Victory Lane.
Oh, no.
Victory Lane and Harvey Quinn. That's...
Armando needs to fix the cameras here.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
my goodness.
Uh-oh. Trouble.
Have another look here off of turn 6. They're just 4 abreast all the way back in the pack. Everybody getting squished together. And we see Victory Lane getting thrown down. Oh, and Shave Burns with a hard lick. That's not a good way to return.
Oh, no, no,
And then-
no.
Oh.
Gets turned over. Oh, so does Harvey Quinn.
Harvey Quinn kind of just jumped it, thankfully.
Oh,
my gosh,
Stubbs.
Luckily, one of Armando's upgrades to this track was shaving down the blunt into that pit wall to make it a bit like a ramp, which it does turn cars over, but it keeps the head attached.
Both of those guys gonna be feeling it nonetheless, but it could have been way worse. Just ask everybody that was in last year's field.
Some hard hits there, man. Take a look high above. I want you to keep your eye on all of them, because all of them wreck. There's a couple wrecking. There's more wrecking. There's a bunch shooting to the inside. There's a bunch going to the outside. They're all wrecking. They're everywhere. Couple cars getting airborne. You see Victory Lane going upside down pit road. Harvey Quinn following suit. Scubbs, you can see out of frame. Can't really see it. He's out of frame now, but he shoots into that inside wall super hard. Oh, man. We have a lot here. I hope you got it. I hope you got that all, because that was a lot to go through.
Of course, Gutterball couldn't miss it. Here we are riding on board to Victor E. Lane in the 12 car. One of many people who could have pointed his way in. Not going to go that way, I'm afraid. He looks like he tried to get back out on track, but got clipped by the 19, and from there it was over. As you can see here, stopping in the pit stalls. I'm actually hearing from Cardwar that some of the volunteer pit crew members actually ran out, not to service the car, but to ask for an autograph while he couldn't drive away. You got to think that's just absolutely infuriating for that 12 team. Let's take a look at what happened to this 02 car, because he had one of the more prominent impacts in this crash, and thankfully we had a camera on him. Looks like it just Armageddon in front of him. Nowhere he could really go. He's actually going to sneak past relatively clean here. Jumps right through the middle, but he's going to get hooked with Jackie said, and Jackie said double it and give it to the next person. Scubbs is going to get a double concussion from that impact. Jackie's been getting at least one every week, and she's still going. So I'm sure Scubbs will be there next week, albeit very confused, and he might not be speaking quite as clear.
Welcome back to CRI as new leader, Preston DeWall. I don't think he was up here. It doesn't matter. They all wrecked, so obviously everything's going to shake out differently. Preston DeWall's going to lead him down. Jason Payson coming down pit road. Filet Mignon to the outside. We are waiting on the starter. And once that starter waves that green flag, they're going to come and they're going to go.
Have we gotten an update on Pennant, and have we gotten his Simon fingers yet?
I can confirm that they are in fact developing Simon's fingers. However, as anybody who's unfortunately lost a hand knows, replicating a hand is very, very difficult to do. Gonna be in development at least another week. Right now, he's just waving that flag with the nub, Mike.
Gotta be arthritis pain for that.
Lots of duct tape.
God.
Also want to update one other story. The 75 of Claire Pressure, she did in fact pit that time. Aaron Pressure gonna be in that car the rest of the way. So barring any future injuries, everybody's in the car they'll be in for the rest of this race. And they are 4 wide in the back.
I miss Claire.
Oh, they're 4 wide in the front almost. Preston DeWall might be in a weird spot here.
Man.
Oh, he's going to be... Oh, this is not going to be good. They're going to be 4 wide off turn 6 again. I don't like the looks of this
Oh,
at all.
Bernhardt's in the squish zone right here.
Wow.
And Fred.
Whoa,
Bring it back
whoa.
up, Fred. There you go.
He got it. He got
Okay.
it. Thank goodness.
Okay.
Come on,
Fearless Fred, you can't shake that man.
Oh.
You know,
Into
You
that
might
would
be able
have
to spin
been
him.
that would have been a massive wreck last year. So this is a huge improvement. What the track group did and stuff.
Oh, Clank!
TOECAR!
Oh no, trouble. Shave Burns is in it. Asiago's in it.
Ooh.
Oh, Fearless Fred. Hudge Strickland.
Oh!
Oh! And that was a 0-0 that came flying in there and plowed. Oh, he's going to slide into the armpit. Not going to hit the tire barrier, thankfully.
And not get the field goal. Very disappointing.
Devastating for his playoff hopes. We're still racing back to a caution. Oh, Steel Park's on the apron.
Whoa!
He's going to save it, but there's still 4 wide ahead of that. We might not be out of the woods
Oh,
yet, guys.
Giuseppe's getting greedy.
Oh. All right, they saved it. Who's going to get to the line first? It looks like it might be the 11, but it's going to be close.
Yeah.
Preston the wall leads us back to the caution. Big news for potential bonus points because he's going to potentially be the person that leads the most laps doing this. Came into this race 30 out. He's going to need every point he can get.
Another look here at Clink Bottle, still recovering from his rotated brain syndrome from last week at Talladega. Just comes down across Y. Wilkinson's hood and back up through traffic into Shave Burns, who's just wanting to have one race while breathing again, but the race is already getting ruined. See Andrew out there in the grass getting it saved, but man, they're just piling up behind him. David Gutterball in the 200th wreck of the season.
Oh, look at Harvey. Oh!
And that was cease and desist that he hit. We didn't talk about that. He came into this 4 points below the cut line. It's going to be very hard to make that up now.
It's going to be 4 liters short on the radiator now.
Let's ride on board the deer. Wyatt Wilkinson going to put his nose there, and Clink just doesn't think he's there. Going to try to clear himself, essentially, and that's what kicked off this whole wreck. Oh, and Andrew's going to get an offsides penalty.
Oh, dear.
Unbelievable.
Then we see Harvey Quinn back here, way off the pack, but it doesn't matter. He has an opportunity to kick a field goal right here and make the playoffs, but he chooses to run it instead. He runs it straight into the 51 car.
Oh, now why would he do that?
Doesn't have a good coach.
Got a good look there at the grandstands. There is going to be a football game played in the stadium tomorrow, unfortunately, which is why that's there. As you remember from season 1, many a car, most notably probably Daniel Suez, completely slid through that football field, but now there's goalposts in because they have to host an actual game. You got to think there's people looking at that, especially when they're wrecking and really having a lot of panic go through their systems. Because if you miss that field goal, not only will you not be in the playoffs, you're not going to be around for the playoffs.
Championship implications. The 0-2 of Scubs has retired the car. This is huge for the points outcome, as Scubs, who was sitting kind of comfortable above the line, he's not going to be sitting very comfortable now because he is out of this race, and that just opens the door for someone else to possibly sneak their way through into the playoffs here, guys.
Should probably point out there is actually a really solid chance he does make it. However, it wouldn't take a lot for him to miss this race, especially if somebody towards the back half of this point situation ends up winning. He might be the person that finds himself on that cut line. Sport tender, I'm not sure what he did.
Certainly might be legal.
You know, all rules are made up unless proven otherwise. And
Look at Bill Landlines.
Guys, I think it's legal on the 19th lap.
Speaking of, halfway through, this race is just flying by thanks to all the cautions. You got to think, too, all these tensions are going to start rising because a lot of people in this field know they only have a select amount of time to save their season. Hell, they might have a select amount of time to really save their career if they want to make it back for season 3.
Oh, man. Do you
Wait,
think Erin
Sherma-
has the same genes that Claire has? Because she put on an absolute clinic last week at Talladega, and Aaron's not doing too much different today. He's up in the middle of the hornet's nest.
I mean, that'd be pretty weird, Mike. I don't think they're wearing the same pants. Down into 5 and 6. This has been the trouble area all day. Can they make it this time? It looks like Steel Park might get moved. Oh, he's okay.
Ooh, Preston.
Managed. Whoa!
What a
He
save.
was opposite lock there off of that turn. That was insane.
Look at the lead the Kubota has. That thing's gearing his tune just right for CRI. Maybe it's the long con, guys. Maybe Filet Mignon had exactly one setup and it's purpose-built for here.
Oh, God, we're in a pickle here, guys.
I believe in Elliott Sadness, and I think he's going to finish as best as he possibly can today in the middle 3 wide. We did see him wreck in that happy hour session, but we're going to choose to forget that because it doesn't fit my narrative.
Oh,
Fair enough. as they're barreling down here into turn number 5. Look at the 9 car trying to make a move on the inside here.
Oh, and Steel Park.
Oh, no!
Oh no, that's not good.
Oh, and they're gonna all wreck. This is gonna be humongous.
It's everyone.
Oh, Neil
Another collection.
Iron pressure.
Ah.
Looks like everybody was able to stay on Earth this time.
Oh.
Oh, never mind. LW wrong upside down, at least for now. Oh, I don't know what happened to him.
Wheels.
But that's going to take out a majority of our field. It looks like Wyatt Wilkinson was the first to get back to the line, at least if the scoring's updated. Weed Trimma up there.
I need you to go down there and tell Cole Power to run. Yes, thank you.
All right, we see here Todd Disdain. He came into this race 11 points below the cut line, trying to lead as many laps as he can to make sure he gets that bonus point for leading the most. Unfortunately, though, just a little too aggressive, going to squeeze the 18 all the way into the wall, and that sets off one of the most humongous crashes we've ever seen in regards to cars. I think almost every car, if not every car that was in the race still was in this wreck in some capacity. Fortunately, a lot of them don't have race-ending damage, but nonetheless, still a huge, huge crash. Let's take another look here. LW wrong, like I said before, going to sneak right past the bottom, trying to follow Spore Tender through this. Spore gets caught up a bit with Clink. Oh, and there's Aaron, and LW just couldn't quite miss him. The car gets up on its side. Oh, and it gets hit again by Spore, and that puts the car on its roof. I don't know if that car is going to be out of the race, but he definitely will lose more laps, and that's the last thing this car needed. He was already 3 down by this point. Dadgum gets into him. The Colonel doesn't know what to do. And there's Todd, who caused it all, driving away.
We're going to take a ride on board Aaron Pressure here because this was something we didn't catch the first time. Oh! He hit that wall so hard, guys. And they got clobbered again on the left side, sorry.
Oh.
And then here comes LW. He had himself a wreck there. So sad because it looked like the seas parted for a second and then he just got clipped at the last second. But he managed just to drive off, but I'm sure he's going to be feeling that in the morning.
Well, guys, we're actually hearing from TOECAR reporter Cardwar. LW Wrong got out of the car, stormed the 75 box to try and potentially harm their crew chief, which right now is Claire. When he climbed alongside the pit box and started climbing the ladder, got hit in the head with her purse, got a black eye. He decided, you know what, maybe I shouldn't try to fight this crew chief, walked back down to his own car, and they were declared done for the day on this 50 team. Not only did he wreck, he's also injured and out of the playoffs.
Wow. Welcome back to CRI. After that big accident in turn 5, turn 6, we're gonna get another report on the 50 car that Cole Powers is nowhere to be found. It's being told that he left as soon as that wreck happened, as soon as LW brought it down pit road, and he was nowhere to be found. That being said, though, there is a police escort on the south side of the racetrack right now. One can only imagine that could be him. So hopefully he's good wherever he is. Anyway, we're about to go green.
I think LW might have been humbled because of what Claire just did to him. I'm so proud of Claire. But back in other news, we're back green here with Wyatt Wilkinson and Weed Trimma leading the race. And in our car, Plot 55, Elliot Sadness back there in third. But there comes Bill Landlines again for another restart move.
Oh, and look at cease and desist. He was starting in about 6th or 7th, it looks like. Dropping like a rock. Looks like 10th according to our scoring pile on there.
Oh, he's going to get
car,
moved.
He had a tremendous amount of damage. I can't believe he thought it was a good idea to restart as high up as he did. He's going to get freight trained pretty soon here.
If he doesn't get wrecked, that is. And here comes Gutterball. That's guaranteed to be a wreck.
Oh. Made it so far.
Oh. Well, gather it
Come
up,
on.
guys. We need to get back to the lead.
And Giuseppe Gabaguli and Todd Disdain getting caught behind that. These are people that needed good runs for points. So did Steel Park, who's dead last right now in this group.
All right, we'll catch back up with them.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Leader, but not for long, because here we come. The Plot 55 car.
Here we come.
Somebody might have hit the wall in the back, but yeah, they did. Caution's out.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. This guy.
Not with cease needed.
Let's see what happened this time. Cease and desist, as we talked about, very off pace. Going to go right in front of the 84 of Ali Alakainen, who needs every point he can get. Only 5 above the cut line. Oh, and he really made sure he wrecked. He was not happy about what Season just did. Fortunately for Harvey Quinn right there, the cease parted, and he was able to get by on the high side. Really a very minor crash relative to the other ones we've seen today.
I just realized I keep calling him Cease, and his name is Season.
Same, I thought the same thing.
I mean,
was
Cease,
like,
Cease
wait,
is a nickname
have I
for
been calling
Season.
him? Have I been calling him the wrong name all year?
Cease where?
Shane Hall flipped at Vegas in
Back
testing.
to
Oh wait,
oh, we got trouble.
We got. Hold on, wait.
Bill
Yeah.
Wasabi
We're
back
back.
there.
We're back at CRI where something terrible has just happened. Coming to the restart, Bill Wasabi just got spun for no good reason at all. We're not really sure what happened. We were looking at our notes.
Oh no, this might bring some penalties, guys.
We're gonna have to see where it all shakes out. He's trying to get his spot back. It's a little too late for that, pal.
Oh, come on, we need this. Come on. Go. Go.
get up there! Hurry! Oh my god.
We'll have to
If
see.
they're gonna get a penalty, they've already got one by now. I'm not even sure where he belongs.
They're
Really.
blocking him.
Look at Bill landlines again.
Phil Mignon must have a beef with that 92 team. Bill Wasabi, he just blocked the shit out of him all the way to the apron. He can go below that yellow line here in TOECAR, but decided better. You know, as we all know, going down into turns 1 and 2, you're not going to hold that line. So, probably a wise decision by Bill, but still, that was kind of crazy of him.
We are not going to beat the allegations, guys, because we are... Well, actually, we're about to lose the lead here.
It doesn't
Honestly,
matter. They say rigged in when it crashes.
Elliot
That's true,
Sadness
that's true.
has had a rough few goes of it. Season 1 really didn't have the success he was looking for. You know, he's going to have his work cut out for him to keep this car up here the rest of the day today, even if it is a Plot 55 car. And as we all know, those cars are very, very fair and balanced. We'd trim him right in the middle.
Yeah, I was going to say actually 3 winners. 3 winners this season up here.
Ooh.
That being Andrew, Wheatrima, and Wyatt Wilkinson. And then us, of course, but we don't count, I guess. Anyways.
A lot of winners in general. Neil Anderthal, pardon me, still up here. I saw a few of the other people that have won. Phil Mignon right there. Been a good day for the people that have had success so far in TOECAR, at least this season in Goodies Trash. A lot of the people needing a win have been the people in those big accidents.
I just hope once they hit that opening. That'd be funny.
Well,
You are a sick man.
I
No.
prefer my drivers nice and healthy going into the finale. Look at Andrew. He's about to get turned by Bill Landlines if he's not careful.
Oh, we got
No,
Ron back.
Ron got turned by Bill Wasabi, and there goes everybody. Sport Tender might have just missed that one. Steel Park, one of the people in on points right now. The guy above the cut line, 4 points above the cut line. Oh, that's going to have huge implications for him. Cease and desist racing back. Looks like the whole field got the caution there. Weed Trimmer was our leader. Wyatt in second, and the third place car is Lemmy Hidinya.
Take another look high above with Blimp Biscuit here. Looks like Sir blew his hamstring, just misjudging how much real estate he had. He was 3 wide, didn't realize it, and just gets up into round back. Who collects Wasabi, Crab and Shits, Park. Todd barely getting a piece of it. And look at Sport Tender, missing something.
God.
And not the playoffs like we all thought he would today. Well, he might still do that, actually.
Yeah, don't count your chickens.
You need to stop wrecking your car, Kyle.
I'm not driving it. Welcome back to CRI, where it's coming down to it, guys. Going to be our first of potentially many green white checker attempts. Who are we picking today?
For me, I've been so impressed every restart with Bill Landlines. He keeps diving all the way down towards the inside wall, damn near. That takes guts. That's going to be my pick.
Tristan?
I'm gonna go with Let Me Get In Ya. I think he's gonna get a second win this season. Be the first driver to do that this season. He's been kind of lurking there, and I think he's had a pretty good race. So yeah, him.
Well, guys, my pick is going to be that 18 car Filet Mignon, another person who's already won the season, as we all know. He's been making some of the most aggressive moves we've seen all day, especially down this front stretch. Going to take a lot of those to have a shot at the win. What is the 19 doing?
They're fighting
I don't
over
know.
real estate there with Cam Arrow, it looks like.
Well, one of them might be getting penalized. Jury's still out on that, I guess. We're green nonetheless. Look at Lemmy already making a move to the bottom. That may or may not work. We'll have to wait and see.
At least 6 of the top 8 drivers, if I'm not mistaken, have won a race already this season. So that's statistics.
Look at Jackie said. It's going to take a big push to get up to the front. Jackie said is trying to give that to Lemmy Dana. Never mind. Going to pass Lemmy get into perhaps. They're all even, all the lines.
Oh, Lord. Only 2 laps to go. Things are heating up.
Oh, and you got to think too, especially if they wreck right after the start-finish line. You might not have a full pack to race back with. You really want to get up to the front right now if you can, just to avoid it at the very least.
Oh, that's a great one.
Here they come through turn number 5 and 6 once again, and let me get in ya. He's going to be the one that looks like he's going to have the lead here coming to the line. They're coming to the white flag this time, guys.
And we got there. We're going to get there clean there, 4 wide behind that. Weed Trimma, our leader, wide in second, Lemmy in third. As you mentioned before, all winners. Plot 55 and the 99 behind them, also winners. Behind that, though, it's anybody's guess. They're going to be 4 wide off turn 2 here, guys. Jackie said just getting pushed up the track by Preston DeWall. Could get turned.
Oh, God.
Oh!
Able to hang on to it. No field goal today. We're going to have to try again tomorrow. Let me get in here. Big move to the bottom on Weed Trimma. He's got help from our car. The Plot 55 driven by Elliot Sadness. We got one on the apron in the back. I think it's Asiago. That's not going to impact the finish, though. They're going to try to hang it on. Weed Trimma. Big push from the 9 car. Wyatt Wilkinson might have just saved this 30. Wyatt might have just saved his race. Coming off the final corner. Will they all make it? Oh, contact. But they're going to make it in one piece. Weed Trimma wins his 2nd race of the season and makes the playoff.
Let's go!
And that's one less car everyone's going to have to fight in the playoffs, guys. But we're going to have to do some calculations here and see where everything shakes out. And who the hell is that? Roundback, what are you doing?
I can say, guys, I did not approve this strategy. I told him, and I quote, "Park it, you're dog shit anyway." Unfortunately, he didn't listen to me. What's new?
Yeah,
Back out on
control your
track.
guy a little better. I don't know.
I'm
You
hoping
gotta
he
assert
gets,
your dominance, Kyle. I can show you a thing or two if you like.
I'm hoping he gets relegated so I get a real driver. What's he doing now? He shouldn't get to the line. He wants to finish this race. The King should finish his last race, even though he's got one more race after this.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, he's trying to sneak past. He might be able
We're
to.
giving him room.
Oh. Come on, Ron. Just get to the line. It's not that hard. Oh, he's gonna get pulled into the pits if he's not careful, because all these
Oh my
cars are gonna
God.
stop. Oh, he might make it.
Oh.
All right, we're good. I think. What are they doing?
Their best.
Oh, their best isn't very
Oh.
good. Why hit the pit wall?
Well, Weed Trimma is your winner today. That's pretty cool.
Oh!
Oh my goodness!
Sports Ender up in the air. The race is over. David Gutterball's in it. What a shock. Oh, are you kidding me?
Oh my
no.
God.
Oh, no,
Here
no,
we
no,
go.
no, no. Okay, well, that
Oh.
could have been worse. Let's take a look at what happened after the race. I don't know at all why this took place, but nonetheless, they're all making their way back into the pits. I think Bill Wasabi's going to clip the pit wall. Gutterball's going to hit him, and then, oh my God, Crap and Shits just runs over, or under, I guess I should say, Sports Ender in that 0 car. So many dollars wasted in damage after the race. You really hate to see that kind of thing. First, our winners. First, now with 2 wins, going into this as the 1 seed, Weed Trimma in the 33 Abomination. We don't really know what car that is, but the thing. Next, Kobe Keith, our most dominant driver, with a staggering 309 points, well above 2nd place, who's also a winner, the Let Me Get in the 96 car. Then, the Plot 55 machine going to find its way into the playoffs, courtesy of its early season win. Wyatt Wilkinson will also be in the playoffs in the 9 car. Andrew, picking up that big win at South Boston, finds his way into the playoffs. Massive Chris, and as well as Neil Anderthal last week winning at Talladega. Those are all the drivers in the playoffs via wins. We do, of course, have 4 spots available to people via points positions. Pardon me. First, Filet Mignon in that 18 car, going to find his way to the playoffs and for a great season. Really dominant without winning a race. Next up, fan favorite Scubs in that 02 car, going to find his way into the playoffs via points. Third, Ali Alakainen in the 84 car, the Nokia itself, going to be in the playoffs next week in Pyongyang. And the last person to make it into the playoffs via tiebreaker over Jackie said is Giuseppe Gabaguli in the 29 car. Welcome to the playoffs. If it weren't for the 3 top 5s he had this season, Giuseppe would not have been in this field. Obviously, tiebreakers first going to the best finishing position. Pardon me. Giuseppe has 3 top 5s this season compared to Jackie's none, meaning Giuseppe Gabaguli wins the tiebreaker and is in the playoffs as our last driver in on points. Jackie going to be on the outside looking in. 1 spot all season is all she needed. Still going to have a good season to look back on, but damn, she was so close. Then Steel Park, person who came in right on the edge of being in on the playoffs, going to miss it by an entire 10 points. Heartbreak for that team, guys.
I am so proud of Giuseppe after being diagnosed with Mariner's disease after Texas Symmetrical. Not many people make it through that, but he was one of them that did. Still need to talk to Steve Basil because that is not what that is called medically, but you know what? We'll let him do it for now, but what an incredible comeback to make it into the final round for the championship. I've definitely given him all my best hopes and wishes for Pyongyang.
And what a heartbreak for drivers like Cease and Desist and Camaro who were above the cut line going into this race. And obviously things just did not play into their favor today. Unfortunately missing the playoffs by slim margins too. So I mean it's a heartbreak, but you know they still can go out here and possibly win at least the finale, and maybe that'll soften the blow a little bit. But nonetheless, heartbreak for them.
You know, Tristan, we saw just that last season. Joe Swanson missed the playoffs, had a horrific wreck here at CRI of all places, and he came back to win the next week with the debuting Simon system, and now he's been on a tear this season in Cup. Somebody's going to hope to replicate that next season. Well, from the booth here at CRI, I'm watching over my shoulder. I don't hear any voices. I don't see anybody. So it might be safe to sign off. From CRI today, congratulations to Weetrima. Congratulations to our entire field of playoff drivers. And until next week, thank you for watching, and good night.